Good morning, everyone. It's Adette from 9 3/4 Coaching, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. It is March 6th, and March 8th is International Women's Day. So I want to take a few moments to celebrate International Women's Day. I am a proud feminist, and I'm a proud feminist in ways that are really coming to light as the true feminist, and that is about equality. And it's about not having women better than men, but having some equality, and equality in all the areas of our environment. So whether it be the workplace, in the scientific research, in our day-to-day activities, and our social environment. And so I did want to celebrate a little bit of that. And so I was at the dentist yesterday, and I was having a conversation, and it was around this upcoming Wisdom Wednesday. And I was talking to my dental hygienist, who happens to be a male, and he was talking about how he works in a non-traditional male, like it's a female environment. He's the only male that is on staff as a dental hygienist. And he wasn't aware of some of the bias that occurs. So when I was talking about the medical industry and how there's more research money that has been spent on men's health versus women's health, and how we don't have control of our own health. And he thought, that was interesting. And so we continued our conversation in different biases that show up. And then as he was cleaning my teeth, he realized he'd had an experience of reverse discrimination. And so his story was that he'd just come out of our dental hygienist school, and he was applying for a job, and the job was in a dental office where the dentists were all female, the hygienists were all female, and he was told he wasn't quite the fit they were looking for because they thought he might ruin their vibe. And he thought, wow, that really makes me feel uncomfortable. And I don't really, like that. So I don't really want to work here, which is a nice way to, kind of move forward. However, I asked him, imagine what that would be like if you were experiencing that uncomfortable feeling on a regular basis, whether it occurs daily or weekly or whatever, but on a regular basis, you're experiencing different gender biases. And that was a huge awakening for him. And he's a pretty open, sensitive sort of fella. So, he really got the impact of, you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of times in society, we don't even know the gender biases that we're showing up with because it is so ingrained in society. So it's about learning. And that reminded me of a presentation I gave several years ago. I was working in the corporate world about gender bias. And I come across a really interesting article. It was a paper that was published in 2003 by Cambridge University Press. And it was called Language and Gender. It was written by Penelope Eckert and Sally McConnell Gennett. And one of the things that really stood out to me was about how we speak to children. So when we approach children, and they're quite young, there is a tendency when we see a little girl to raise the pitch in our voice ever so slightly. And in some cases, it's not so slightly. It's really a high pitch that we put on how we speak to these young girls. The second point is we will make comment about how pretty she is, how nice her dress is, maybe her hair, and the focus is on those sorts of things. The flip side that the study showed was when we approach little boys, we don't raise our pitch in our voice. It's level and even. We talk more about what we ask the little boy more about what sports are you playing? What are you learning at school? What books are you reading? And so what happens is the little boy learns that his value is on the activities that he physically does. And he is worthy because of those physical activities. Whereas the little girl learns it's more about her physical appearance. And so we like to play that the media is responsible for this social bias. But this existed long before the mass media that we have on imagery existed. And so this is something for you to be aware of and for you to learn. How are you speaking to those around you? Is there something that we're doing with our little ones that we can do differently? And we can talk to them differently. We can talk about their activities differently. We can focus differently. So what we don't know, we don't know. But when we do know, we have an opportunity to do better. I'm a long-standing member of Girl Guides, very proud of that. And we often talk about gender bias, and we see it and we learn about it. We learn about it in the guiding program because we want to do better. And in our promise, we make a promise to take action for a better world. And it's simple little things like changing our voice tone when we talk to little girls or changing the conversation that we're having. So those little things I'd like for you to maybe take forward in your life. Give them a try. See how it works for you and how the little ones respond to you. It is a little piece of wisdom to share with you, and I challenge you to take action for a better world. Recognize that women have value in all aspects of our world, but that there is balance. We need to have both men and women equally represented in all areas of our lives. So that's what I leave with you today, and I wish you a wonderful week. Happy International Women's Day. And we will see you next week. If you like this video, if you found value in it, I do encourage you to share it. I encourage you to comment. And I ask that if you want to have further discussion around these topics, to feel free to reach out and talk to me. I am a transitional life coach. I work primarily with young women. But if there's something that resonates for you, please don't hesitate to make comment and come and talk to me. More than happy to have that conversation. So have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you next week. Take care.